Hey guys, it's Deb, back with another Sims 4 house build. Today I'm building a traditional suburban family home. It has 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a study, and a swimming pool. And it also has a sunken living room. Now, before I started building this particular house, I knew exactly structurally what I wanted the living room and entryway to look like. So that is basically why I started with this room before I did any of the rest of the house, because I wanted to make sure that that room was going to work exactly the way that I wanted it to. And like I said, structurally, I knew what I wanted it to look like. But as for decor for that room or for any of the house on the inside, I had no idea at all whatsoever what I wanted to do. As far as the decor on the outside of the home, here again, I had no idea what I wanted to do on the outside either. And I did end up putting a dormer over that upstairs like porch area, and I really liked the way that it turned out. Originally, I had not planned to even put a porch area upstairs. It just worked out that way. Also, I did end up using this orangey brown brick on the exterior of this home, which is a pattern that I have not used before on the exterior of a home. When it comes to brick, I usually stick with the reds and the pinks. So I decided I would give this orange brick a try, and I'm really glad I did because I really like the way that it turned out. And I think it looks really good next to that dark gray siding, which typically, you know, when you're using a warm color like an orangey brown, you don't normally put a gray or, you know, a cool type color with it. But I did, and I think it looks really nice together. And now you can see I am working on the interior of the home and putting all the lighting in and the windows in. And there is that sunken living room right in the center of the home. Basically the heart of the home, a place for the family to gather and watch television or sit in front of a roaring fire and get all cozy in the middle of winter or autumn, which it is now. And speaking of autumn, the fact that Halloween in real life is this coming Saturday makes me miss seasons in The Sims 4 so much more than what I was already missing it. But I know it will come soon, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. And now you can see I am working on the decor for the living room, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted to use furniture that I have never used before. But this furniture that you see in there now just was not working for me. This whole scheme, it just did not feel right. So I deleted it and started over. And I'm really glad that I did, because I do really like the furnishings that I ended up going with. And I believe that this sofa and chairs are from the Get to Work expansion pack. And I don't remember ever using them before. As you know, if you have watched house builds on my channel before, I normally build modern houses, but I have decided to really get into the traditional houses a little bit more and do a lot of the more traditional houses, and so you're going to see a lot more of those on my channel. It's just something a little bit different. I just kind of want to mix things up a little bit and use furnishings that I have not used before. Now, some of the furnishings are a little bit too fussy for my taste, a little bit too frou-frou or a little bit too formal. I don't know. But some of the furniture I really like. As far as this dining room goes, I really like to use formal furniture in a dining room. I think it makes it look really nice. But as far as living rooms and things like that go, I really like for the living room or den of a home to have more casual type furnishings that you would really see in a real home. So I hope that they give us more of those type furnishings with our next expansion pack. And there I am working on the kitchen, and I've decided to go with this wonderful red on the walls in the dining room and the kitchen. I really love the warm red colors. I just think it gives it just such a really homey feel. And did decide to go with the white cabinets with that. And this flooring in the kitchen, I think this is the very first time that I've ever used this tile floor. And I think it looks really nice in this room. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. And I hope you all like it too. Now, one thing I really, really realized again when I was building this home is we have a severe need for more curtain choices and more curtain colors. Especially in the traditional curtains. We really, really need more. So I really hope that they give us those too in the next expansion pack, especially curtains that fit a one tile window. And we need more windows, by the way, also. You know, as far as traditional homes go, I usually like to use the walls at the lowest height in a traditional home because the windows are so much shorter. Now, when I do the modern homes, I like to do the walls on the middle height. Well, I really wish that they would give us a lot more traditional type windows that would look good on the middle height walls, because I really prefer the middle height walls, especially in the kitchen where you're doing the cabinets. I like to have space above the cabinets, you know, on the wall and things like that. But we shall see what we get. And I'm going to say this again for the millionth time. I really wish that they would give us a color wheel. Please patch it in, EA. If anyone from EA ever happens to watch this video, which I know you probably will never see it, but if you do, please, I'm begging you, give us a color wheel, color wheel, color wheel. Okay, enough said about that. And here I am. I'm working on the study at the moment. It's a really small study, but it has everything that your sim will need in it. A desk, computer, bookcase, and a little sitting area so that your sim can sit and read a book. So yeah, it's just a nice little quiet, cozy room for your sim. And I really like the way this turned out too. You know, I went with these muted beige colors and a little bit of blue. And I really like the way that they look together, and I think it turned out well, and I hope you all like it as well. Now I'm just putting some rugs in, and decor items, and clutter items, and things of that nature. And moving on to the upstairs, and putting in lighting and things like that. Now, as I said, this home does have 4 bedrooms, and it does have 3 bathrooms, and 2 of the bathrooms are upstairs. One is a family bathroom, and the shower and tub area are separated in it so that your sims will not walk in on each other going to the bathroom. Now I'm working on the master bedroom, and I really, really love this bluish green color that's on the walls. I know it's a little bit dark, but I really, really like it. I'm not that big a fan of green in general, especially the more yellow greens I'm not really crazy about. But this blue-green I really think is pretty, and I really like this blue-green color in real life as well. And there I am just putting trying to find some wall lights to go on the wall. You know, I don't really understand why the wall lights in Sims 4, they don't have clear glass. You've either got pink glass or you've got this really bright yellow glass. You know, why don't you just give us some with just white glass, you know? What problem would that be? And I ended up later on finding a wall light that does have a white glass, and I come back and replace those 2 lights above the dresser with the ones that do have the white glass. So yes, I did finally find a color option on only one wall light that's like that. But I did find it. There I am just deciding on some plants to put in the room because I love plants, especially in the corners of my rooms. And now here I am working on the master bathroom, putting the tub in. And at first I was going to do my signature fountains around the tub, but then I changed my mind and decided to do something different because this house is all about trying new things. So I put this little seat next to the tub and put some towels and clutter items on it. And I popped down to pick up a cabinet in the kitchen and decided that this kitchen needed a bar in it. So there I am building a bar in the kitchen. Now back up to the master bedroom, putting the sinks in and all of that nature. And I do put double showers in so that mom and dad sim can shower at the same time. There I am messing with wall lights again, putting some up and changing my mind a million times. And I don't know, I think that, yeah, this is where I finally find the one that is white. It's a blackish type light with a white shade on it. And could not find what I wanted to go over the shower, so I finally used those invisible lights from Bite-A-Bug. There I am just putting in rugs and curtains and things like that around the tub area. And putting in some clutter items to make it look nice and lived in. And just finishing up with a little bit more clutter. Now this house, I actually started building this house about a month ago, actually, and got the complete structure ready, completely finished, but did not have any of the decor items done. You know, none of the rooms decorated, and I finally finished it earlier this morning. So this house has been a long time in the making, not because I did not, want to finish it or know how to finish it, but just as far as a lack of time. Life has really been crazy for me lately. So yeah, this house has been in the works for a long time. The raw footage ended up being like 4 hours, so it's not that it took me a long time to build. It was just finding the time to build it. And you can see I have built a guest room here with a double bed using the beautiful blue and the beautiful yellow wall color. And I really like the way these colors complement each other, and I really like the way that guest room did turn out. I always like to have, if there's room in my Sims houses, I always like to have a guest room with a double bed, just in case my family expands and I have more than, one couple of young adults living in the family. Now you can see I am working on a child's room, and I did do this room in pink, and I was able to fit the dollhouse in this room. I don't know why the dollhouse has to have such a large footprint. But I really love the dollhouse. I really love the animations that the children's Sims use when they play with the dollhouses. So I really like to put them in my builds, but sometimes it's really hard to get them to fit into a room. Basically, if you want to put 2 beds in a child's room, you pretty much don't have room for a dollhouse. So in this particular room, I decided to go with 1 bed and the dollhouse, just so that it could be in there for the Sims to play with. And I did put the creativity table in here. I did not fit the chemistry table in this particular room, but if you do decide to download this particular home and you want to put it in, you could probably make room by moving the dresser out or something like that. But I really think this room turned out really cute. Oh, and one thing that I was so thankful that they finally patched in was the ability to resize rugs. That was something when I very first got the base game of The Sims 4 and found out we could resize objects. I was so disappointed that we were not able to resize rugs at that time. So I'm so thankful that they finally patched that in. And now you can see I am working on the upstairs family bathroom, and I do have the toilet area and the shower area divided, as I told you earlier, so that your Sims won't walk in on each other. I'm working on the sink area now, and there are some of the lightings that have like kind of an orangey pinky shade to them, which works fine with a room with brown colors. But with rooms with cooler colors, I don't know why they can't have a white shade option on those lights. Don't understand it at all, but that's just me. Now I am working on a room for a teenager, and I'm just kind of laying out the furniture so that I can find the wood patterns that match. And, there's no dresser that really matches that particular bed and end table. So, I had to use the fancy dancy dresser with it, but that's okay. That's fine. But yeah, this is a room for a teenager, and I do end up going with the blue walls. And I did put a computer in this room for the teenager, as well as a stereo, because, you got to have your music. I also end up putting the Freezer Bunny guitar in this room. So the teenager can work on some skills as well as just, trolling the forums and listening to music. Yeah, but I do like the way that this room turned out, and I love that little skull poster. I have to use it in a teenager's room. I just think it's so cute. And I do end up putting that music painting above the bed, just something kind of nice to make it look nice. And there's where I put the stereo on top of that little trunk. Now, I don't understand. That trunk right there that's got the stereo on it is in the coffee table area, and a television goes on it just fine. But for some reason, the stereo will only go on it with move objects on. Now, explain that to me. That makes no sense at all whatsoever, because that stereo has the same size footprint as a television when you look at it, or at least it looks like it does. So I don't know why the slots don't fit, but they don't. But it works with move objects on, so that's all that matters. Now here I am just putting some decor items in the hallways. Some tables and plants and pictures and things of that nature, and a mirror right there as you come up the stairs. I'm using that blue striped wallpaper that I used downstairs in the entryway. I love the striped wallpapers with the wainscoting on the bottom. I really think they look nice and elegant. Really like them a lot. And now I'm doing some things to the outside of the home and working on the barbecue grill. And I was going to put that cow up there, but then I thought, do you really want, when you're grilling steaks, do you really want to think about where those steaks came from? So I got rid of the cow and put the fork and spoon up there, because I love steak. But I don't like to think about where it comes from when I am eating it, because then I'll get too sad to eat it. I am an animal lover. I love all kinds of animals. I even love cows. So, I don't really like to think about where the food comes from, or I won't be able to eat it. And now I'm building a little waterfall thing for the swimming pool, using that coffee table from Granite Falls and some rocks and things. Nice little waterfall, just something extra for the pool area. And now I'm doing some landscaping around the little waterfall thing, and I think it turned out really nice. I hope you all like it. Just something a little bit different than what I normally do. And just putting a little fencing around that particular area. Putting a little table out there so they can sit out by the pool and have their breakfast or dinner or whatever. And I decided to put the monkey bars in, so that the children's Sims will have something to play on, something to develop their motor skills. And then just working more on some landscaping on the backyard area, and decided to carry those fences over in all the landscaping. Just trying to get those monkey bars where they will not overhang the lot. And I wanted to put a small tree right there, but there is no small tree. That particular shrub right there is the only small upright shrub that we have. So we really need more shrubs in the game too. And I really thought that floor pattern that's actually a roof pattern, that pebble pattern, would make a really, really nice landscaping ground cover type thing. So I decided to use that because I've never used it before. And just putting in a bunch of plants and kind of filling it out and making it look nice and full and lush. And just doing the same thing on the other side. And that is the smallest little tree thing we've got. And I was going to use it, but it just did not go. So I ended up using those particular tall trees there. Can't remember what they are called. And just putting in more flowers. The white hydrangeas, which I don't think I've used those before. So I wanted to use the white ones. And just kind of filling out with more plants to make everything look nice and green and lush. And add a little pop of color here and there. Now, there we go, back to the front of the house. And we are starting the screenshots now, going around to the side of the finished home. And again, I really like that orangey brown brick with that dark gray siding. a color combination I never would have thought of, but decided to try it and really like the way that it works. There we are looking at the backyard, and you can see I did put the easel and the chess table on that back porch area so that your Sims can work on their skills. Coming on around back to toward the front again. And I really like the way this house turned out. I hope you all like it as well. And now that is what you see when you walk in the front door. You do see that sunken living room, and you can see the dining room. Another shot looking toward the staircase. And there we are looking at the sunken living room with a roaring fire in the fireplace. Looking back toward the dining room and the kitchen and the entry. Another shot looking toward the front door from the living room. And here we are with that formal dining room with that huge dining table. Plenty of room for the whole family and extended family to come and have a nice little dinner party. Here we are looking at the kitchen toward the dining room. Another shot from the dining room toward the living room. And here we are in the study. Nice cozy place to do your work or read a book. And here we are in the master bedroom with that beautiful blue-green wall. And here is a shot of the master bathroom. And bathrooms are the hardest rooms for me to take shots of. So I did get 2 angles so you can kind of see more of how it looks. And here is a shot of that guest bedroom with the pale yellow walls. Here is a shot of the children's bathroom, or guest bathroom you might want to say. And here's a shot with the walls down so you can see the separate toilet and shower areas. Here is a shot of the child's room with the dollhouse. Here is a shot of that teenager's room, and there's that freezer bunny guitar. Here is a shot of the barbecue area, and there you can see the chess table and the easel. Another shot from the pool area, and you can see that neat waterfall area. And here we are back at the front of the home. And this does conclude this Sims 4 house building video. I want to thank you all so very much for watching. And I want to let you know, if you do like this house and you are interested in downloading it, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery by searching my EA user ID, SimmerDeb. SimmerDeb is all one word with a capital S and a capital D. Now, if you do not like to use the Origin Gallery for some reason, I will be leaving a direct download link to this home in the description of the video down below. So you can download this house without the gallery if you should so choose. And thanks again so very much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I'll see you next time.